The Toronto Raptors have been on a tear this season. They are on track for a 50 plus win season this year, which leads me to ask, how good are these Raptors? How can they really be this season? Is this a fluke? Is this really them? Can we see a good Raptor team make a deep playoff run this year? Well, let's talk about it. Before I begin, if you guys would like to be part of the Hoop Nerds family, all you gotta do is hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notifications to get the latest on when I drop brand new videos. And that's it. Welcome to the Hoop Nerd family. So the Toronto Raptors are currently the second best team in the East at 29-11. They have won 6 of their last 7 games. This Toronto Raptors team has the potential to be a very dangerous team. Like, really dangerous. This team has not lost more than 2 games in a row so far this entire season. They have been on a multiple 4-game win streak, 5-game win streak, and even a 6-game win streak. They even blew out the Cavaliers on Thursday night on TNT. This team has shown so much growth over the last few years from what we're used to that you really have to stop and wonder and say, can this team really be a serious team? Can this team be a contender finally in the East? Now, there have been times where they went far, they have made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but you have to look back and say, well, the East really wasn't that great of a team for them to even make it this far, and then you expected them to lose to the Cavaliers. But this is a different team this year. Everybody on this team is playing really well. DeMar DeRozan is averaging 25 points a game, but what I like about his game this year, and what I like about him and Kyle Lowry this year, because obviously they're going to be the 2 best players on this team, because they're the paid contracts, they're the all-stars, they're the guys that are the leaders of this team. But this year what I've noticed is that they trust their teammates more. They are willing to make extra passes. This year, this team has become such a great three-point shooting team. They brought in Ibaka last year. They were able to re-sign him, which helps a lot in terms of getting an extra 3-point shooter and someone that can also help you dominate in the paint. Then this season they bring in a guy like CJ Miles, who has just completely changed the culture of this team in terms of shooting threes. You have Norman Powell, who has improved this season tremendously. This team is a great all-around team. They have a good bench that you could rely on when the starters sit down. You have 3-point shooters that's going to make the tough shots. You have Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan willing to trust their teammates. DeMar DeRozan has been such an improvement this year in terms of trusting his teammates and the way he scores. He has never been a great 3-point shooter. That has never been his game. He's always been one of the best mid-range shooters in the game. He's also been able to hurt you in the post and get into the paint. This year you're starting to see him trust his shot a little bit more, take the wide open threes, and he is making them. He's not shooting at a great percentage of it, but that's what you expect from a guy who you wasn't expecting to shoot threes at all. And he's able to knock a couple of those shots down, and you can see his game is developing. That 3-point game was truly the last piece of his development to make him possibly a superstar in this league, was that 3-pointer shot. And he's slowly developing it. He has it this season. He can make an open one, kind of like a Dwayne Wade type situation where he doesn't want to shoot it, but if he's open, he will. And there's a good chance he can make that shot. Kyle Lowry in the same. You always know Kyle Lowry was always a 3-point shooter. He was always the guy that's going to get you your buckets. And he's passing more. He's averaging 7 assists, which is actually a pretty good amount of assists for this team. And this team is just playing well together. Their rookies are playing well. The young guys, the veterans are here. Serge Ibaka is playing well. He's in their top 4 in scoring. Now, the real big question is, how far and how serious can this Raptors team go? Now, they're already 3rd in offense. They're top 10 in defense for this season. But this isn't something that we've never seen before. We've seen the Raptors have great NBA seasons. We've seen them have a 50-win season. We see them being the number 2 seed before, going deep into the playoffs. We've seen this before. The big question is, when they go to the playoffs, that's when everything falls apart for the Raptors. Playoff time is really when it becomes ball dominant between Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan, and that's really where they struggle. That's really where they fall apart, because they're playing too many minutes and they're taking way too many shots to them too. They also have this huge tendency where it's the fourth quarter, it's the final 3 minutes, and instead of moving the ball around fine in offense, they hold the ball for the final 10 seconds and then force a shot, and sometimes mostly every time that causes them the game to lose. And that's the real big question. Yes, this team is going to the playoffs. Yes, they could easily get out of the first and second round with this team, but it all depends on the leadership of DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry. Can they keep what they've been doing this season, how well they've been playing this season, trusting one another, trusting the teammates? If they could carry that into the playoffs, this could be a very dangerous team. When you're talking about a team like the Cavs that you know is going to go far, the team like the Celtics that has so much potential to go far, and now you have these Toronto Raptors that are playing great, and it could make for a very interesting Eastern playoffs series that, you know, the East, let's face it, has been very boring up until the NBA Finals. And this has a chance where the top 4 teams, if you look at the Cavaliers, the Celtics, the Raptors, maybe even the Bucks, those teams can make very interesting playoff series, and it can make the East fun again just for how well they're playing. But it depends on how well they continue to play, and the Raptors are a huge part of that because they are playing great this season. They are one of the better teams in the East. They are completely dominating the East. Again, they haven't lost more than 2 games in a row from back to back. They haven't been on a huge losing streak. They've been on great winning streaks. So it really comes down to how well can DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry and the other guys keep this momentum up, how well they could trust each other going into the second half of the season. We're almost at the All-Star break. We have about a month left. The trade deadline is approaching, so we really got to see how well they could trust each other, what they need to do to just keep this momentum going and winning. DeMar DeRozan, as I said, is playing great basketball, so if he could keep that up, keep up the assists, keep up the trust, this is a very deep team, and I'm excited to watch to see how far this team could go. I'm excited for it. I know you guys are excited for it. Let me know in the comments below. Can this Raptor team go far? How good are this Raptors team? Let me know. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. It's okay. If you're new to the channel, you like what I do here, this is Hoop Nerds, where we talk nothing but basketball. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free. Why not be part of the Hoop Nerds family? I'll catch you on the next one. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Later.